College football brothers, we are going to be breaking down a little trips tight end out of the Alabama offensive playbook. If you guys want to get my entire Alabama offensive ebook, really good ebook for college football 25, especially if you want to play road to college football playoff. Alabama's a really good team to use, but they do have, in my opinion, the best trips tight end in the game. And so we're going to set a couple audibles. What makes trips tight end so good in college football 25 is the spacing that it offers. You. So we have tight end swirl, 45 quick bays, verts delay, PA slot corner. If you wanted to have a bubble screen here, I don't think that's a bad idea either. We'll throw the bubble screen in here. We're going to be PA slot corner is a really good play to kind of use as a base play. This RPO read flat is actually better than the RPO bubble. Now that I think about it, let me put that there. That way we can attack the defense in a lot of different ways. One of my favorite plays to come out in in this offense is to come out in this quarterback zone. I believe I have it in here somewhere, quarterback zone. And when you do this, you want to have your ball carrier on conservative, in my opinion. So what you're going to do here is if your opponent is doing a defense, let me see if I have to actually come out in a man coverage. A lot of people will run man coverage right now in this game. Like a lot of people like to run cover 2 man. This is one of the easiest ways to take advantage of that. I want to have the regular verticals play here too, by the way. So let's put that in here if I can find it. And then, yeah, pretty standard. I think tight end swirl is really the only main play. The only thing I might even honestly put drive post in here. I probably put drive post over that one just because the short post that you get from drive post is really cool. And then we have one for PA slot corner too. So some cool stuff in here. Anyway, so you see how we're man aligned because we're in a man coverage play. This quarterback zone run is like free. Now, this might not do it justice in practice mode just because the blocking can sometimes be but this run, really valuable to have against this. Kind of break it outside. You make that guy miss. And you see, it's just it's a really free way to just get some cheap yards. You can cut it inside. When you're on conservative, I don't feel like you're really going to fumble with this. So just kind of with that what you will. But it's just a free, kind of a free play, honestly. So the other things that I like to do out of this is this RPO read flat. So what we have with this RPO read flat is, as you see here, we're going to kind of key in on the safety. If they're in a man coverage play, as you see, a lot of times that works. But what happens a lot of times in this game, like let's say this was like 3-3 penny, if you will, and they're sending 5 at us, which is a pretty common way to do this. They'll kind of use her right here like so, right? Well, if you go to this RPO, what's cool about this RPO against an alignment like this is the linebacker, if the linebacker is blitzing off that edge, you got a one-on-one with that tight end. So that's one thing you can do. And then the other thing about that is kind of cool, and you'll see here, let me just kind of move these guys out here. And of course, I'm not going to be able to, but let's just show you. So if you get this look, the other thing you could do is if the safety stays with the tight end, you could hold the X button, and it'll keep it with the quarterback. And look at this. This is a free touchdown pretty much, right? It's a super good little route that is just kind of a pesky route, and it'll give them a lot of issues, especially if they're wanting to run cover 0 on you a lot. And then you still have the bubble screen threat over here to the left side. If it's manned up, normally that's not the best way to go about things. But I just like this run because it has 4 options on one run play. We can throw the bubble, we can hand it off, we can keep it with the quarterback, or, and right there, that was just honestly a shed. But, it's just a really versatile run play. And then you couple this with the QB zone, you have yourself a really good run scheme out of this. And then the other thing about this is you also have a really good left side run game. You can, if you want to, utilize either just a basic inside zone out of this, or you also have the 45 quick base. So you just have a lot of good runs in this trips. It's a very balanced offense. This quick base is a really good run. So you have the ability to run the ball, is all I'm trying to say, in this formation. So take advantage of that. And then, as I said, PA slot corner, verticals, drive post, those are kind of our main plays in this scheme. I am going to go over a couple of bombs that you can use, and we'll start with this verts delay. So if you're getting so you got to think about like coverage and stuff. The main coverage you're going to get in this game is a basic cover 3. It could be a cover 3 match, but a lot of times it's just a basic cover 3, right? So how do you bomb cover 3? all you're going to do is you're going to come out in this verts play. You're going to streak the slot receiver. You're going to drag this outside receiver. I like to block my running back. And then you're going to corner your tight end. And what you're going to see here is this deep cross. You can throw it right underneath that middle third defender. And this is a one-play touchdown against cover 3 consistently, and one of the best bomb concepts in the game. If it's cover 4, it's a little harder. I feel like I've been getting a little bit more cover 4 lately. If it is cover 4, you can still throw it. You see how we have to wait on this a little bit more. It's a harder throw to make. But let me just kind of go back over this, and what you'll see is you can pass lead down and kind of cut it off before he gets to the quarter right there. That's not going to be a touchdown, but it's going to be a big play for you. So you could throw it in that window, or you could also wait on this a little bit, and you could kind of throw this over the quarter, over the outside quarter. That's the harder throw, but as you see, it's obviously a little bit more risk, a little bit more reward. So what's typically going to happen, in my estimation, is they're going to, have to use this drag underneath, right? Or sit on this drag. They're going to think that quarter is going to play it. And then if you get a really nice pass lead on this, you're going to get that kind of animate. You're going to get that throw. And really what we're looking to get is a rack animation, which for some reason we didn't not get there. We'll try one more time here and see. But this is a nice little way that you can potentially bomb cover 4. And that was the worst throw of the time. So Milroe might not be able to make this throw, but there are some quarterbacks in the game that can make this throw. Let's see if we can get it for you one more time here. We'll just really pass lead this, and it's just going to be hard to get it. So it's a hard throw, but you kind of see where you can throw it. So I'm going to just leave that to you to practice that in practice mode. What's really nice about trips this year is also you have a lot of really good options for cover 2. So you could basically run this same play against cover 2 and have a decent shot. What you're really looking for in cover 2 is this pass lead up and inside. It's a tight throw. Again, you kind of see like it's open. It's just open in a certain window, right? So I'll try to show you that window. But what you see here is this deep half is going to expand to go to this, to go to the trip side, right? So when that deep half expands, this seam streak right there is open, and if you hit that, that's a touchdown against cover 2. So now if like they're consistently running cover 2 or they're consistently running cover 3, right, then we can start to kind of craft plays around that. So another really easy thing that you can do that does a really good job against cover 2 is you go to the play verticals, and then all you need to do with this play is put the running back on a Texas pattern, and this seam streak on this outside is going to be the freest touchdown against cover 2 you'll ever have. This is literally free against cover 2, and this is a super hard route to defend in general in this formation. So you have that read that you can hit against cover 2. Another thing a lot of people like to do against trips is they'll play like a cover 3 cloud where they kind of get into a coverage like this, for example. If you see something like this, the best way to attack this is really back to kind of this basic idea that I have where we're using this seam streak to the inside trips receiver. And you could do it a couple different ways. Like you could get it on this combo right here. Or the other thing you could do is you could have an actual like kind of slant post type of combo like this that I really like. But what you'll see is this seam streak against this. It's a little bit of a tight throw, but I like to attack the seams in this game. So a couple different ways we could get to it. Probably the best way is honestly something like this. Like this is a really good setup. And what this is going to do when they're going to that kind of cover 3 cloud is by having this backside angle route and stuff like that, oftentimes they're going to be able to hold the, this outside or middle third here for a second. So obviously this is a read, right? But if you see this, you're just going to pass lead this into that seam and hopefully not get a red. But you pass lead that into that seam, and that's going to be a really, really good route. And again, this is really good, especially, you get a coverage like this. This is a pretty standard way people like to play defense against trips is they'll have a cloud here. They'll man this outside guy up, right? This is a pretty standard defense, and they're going to use her over in this area. So this little seam streak concept can kind of take advantage of that, which is why I like it so much. So you'll see you just put in a lot of conflict. And if you can hit this throw, it's a nice hitter against that. Now, if they don't, if they deep half, so let's say that they are running this concept on you, but they're not putting an outside third on the outside, which is common. A lot of people will kind of basically do that. If they do that, then you still have this read to the streak, but it's a little bit less open. But what becomes way more open is this outside fade. So you see here, see how that deep half, never going to get there. And that's a big hitter against cover two. So what we really want to force them to do with our bomb plays and our big plays is we ultimately are going to get them into a defense where they're consistently playing cover two to the right and either cover four or cover three to the left. That's almost always what happens. So effectively, we are going to get this little like middle third, like kind of like this, and they're going to play cover two over here. Now, why would they play cover two over here? They're going to play cover two. You got to also remember, guys, most people are going to send four, right? So if they're going to send four at us and they're going to play this kind of cover two coverage, then we can take advantage of this on the right side of the screen. One of the easiest ways to take advantage of this is to use the play PA slot corner. And the reason is because I really like this tight end corner route. I'm going to stem him down one. I'm not going to stem him all the way, stem him down one. Put the running back on a table. And then on the back side here, one of my favorite combos in this game is a zig and either a comeback, a curl, a fade. Like any of those are really good as we accidentally flip the play here. So we'll flip it back for you. But the really kind of freestyle on this left side. So like one of the best ways to me is double, like a speed out that goes to about 15 yards or 10, 15 yards like this. That's your first read. And then you have this little whip underneath it. And then you have this backside post to kind of hold the user in the middle of the field while you're going through your progression. If they're playing a hard flat on this left side, watch this whip route just kind of get into a soft spot of the defense right there, right? And that's also why I like the comeback, because the reason I like the comeback over here is, and I'll show this speed out is good, but it can kind of be a little tricky to throw, in my opinion. Like it's a hard throw to make consistently. And I'll show you here. So if I just, cover four shade down on the left, like I can throw this, but that's, you see how far of a throw, see how the hard flat can still kind of play it. Like it's just a harder read to make, in my opinion. So what I want to be able to do is force that hard flat to commit to that whip route. So the way that we're going to do that with PA slot corner is we're going to go with a stem down corner, flat, whip, and then a comeback. Now watch this comeback route. It's going to get a lot more depth, and it's more of a late read, but you see it gets into a nice soft spot of the field. It still is going to pull that flat over there to it as well. So again, kind of just systematically working through what are the likelihoods that they're going to call cover two on the right. Pretty high. Pretty high likelihood that you're going to get a lot of cover two here to the right side. So there's a couple ways to manipulate it. The first one is just this corner flat combo. If the cloud backs up, we throw this flat. In this game, there's so many broken tackles. Being able to check down to the underneath is really valuable. If they, which this happens, you see this a lot this year. If they soft squat, one of the most popular adjustments in this game, the soft squat's going to jump to the butt, is going to jump down and go guard the running back. And then you're going to be able to hit your tight end corner. And this is why we're using this kind of like almost deeper corner route. You see here, watch the soft squat. He's going to bail down. I don't know why he didn't bail down. That's super weird. I don't know why that didn't happen. And in that case, we could just throw the running back, right? But I want to try to show the corner. And we can eventually get him into a hard flat situation if we just wear the running back out, which is what I would do. Let's just see if we can hit this corner for you. You see, I don't know why the soft squat, I don't know if I must have something. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why the soft squat's not matching, but soft squat's not matching for some reason. Oh, it's because I wonder if it's because I have this mid read on the field. Let's try it one more time. And if it doesn't work, then we'll just show the hard flat. But basically you're high-lowing the flat defender on the right side. That's the idea. Let's see if we can get this to work here. Nope, he's not going to do it. Okay. Well, then you can just take your running back check down right there, and that's perfectly fine. But what ultimately is going to happen a lot of times is that soft squat will jump to the running back. I don't know why it's not doing it in practice mode. It's kind of weird. I don't know if soft squats are bugged now or what, which totally could be because in Madden they're a little wonky. But you'll see they go to the running back. Now we throw this over the top of them, right? So you see how it's a read. It's a keen on the flat defender. So now let's say they're clouding and we want to get over this cloud flat. one of the easiest ways to do that, because again, they're cover threeing this left side a lot. Like that's a pretty common way that people are going to adjust to what we're doing here. So they're going to go to this cover 3 look on the left and a cover 2 look on the right side. So what I like to do against that is on this verts delay play or just the basic verticals play, really any of these, we have this crosser to this receiver here. You could also hot route this as well, but it's just streak. It's just this combination right here. Now, one of the key hot routes, in my opinion, is this running back and what you want to do with him. You can either keep him in the block, which is fine, or you could put him on a table. Either one of these are fine. And what you're going to see here is, as the tight end just totally doesn't run his route, he's going to cross the face of that deep half, and it's going to be a big hitting play. A lot of people don't even deep half on the trip side anymore. A lot of times you'll see just a middle third. You'll see an inside quarter, right? You'll see all kinds of different things. So a lot of people don't even deep half over there. But if they did, you would get this kind of deal here. And I'll show you another little variation off this play that I think is really cool. But anyway, this is, this is a pretty good little combo for college because you're going to get cover 2 a lot over here. And this is just a really nice way to be able to attack it. Jalen Milroe is pretty bad in this game. I don't know if they nerfed him or what to reflect what happened in the real college season, but he's not exactly getting the job done for me. And again, you can just crosser him too. So we can just put him on a hot routed crossing route, which is kind of cool. And you'll see here, hopefully he'll finally run the route right. There it is. You see how it gets over the cloud. Right now, that's not going to be a really good read if they're in cover 4 or cover 3. Like you'll still get open, but it's an easier switch stick, and I'll show that. So like if we were to run the same thing against this, all they'd have to do is switch stick to the outside quarter, and then this would be an easy play to bag. But if you're playing somebody that doesn't switch stick a lot, then you throw that, right? Go for it. Another play that I really like in this game to kind of take advantage of this cover 4 to the left side and this is one of my favorite combos in this game. It's a 5 out and it's a quick hitter and it can all be done with your hot routes. You don't have to actually have any route on the play. So and you could do it a couple different ways, honestly. But the way that I like to do it is you flat this middle trips receiver or wheel him. If you want to slot wheel him, that's up to you. I personally think the flat is still a little bit better unless I'm playing man coverage, which we're going to go over some man beaters in a minute. We're going to whip this guy. We're going to deep dig this guy. Now you could do it like this, just the basic deep dig. As you see, it gets about 15 yards in depth. Or you could do a basic in route and then stem him to 15 yards. I like it at 15 yards. I feel like that's the best depth. We're going to flat the tight end and we're going to streak the running back. I love this play because it really puts a lot of stress on the defense. So you'll see here, the yellow zone is going to get taken advantage of by this because the flat's going to really pull that flat out of the way. And that was a shaded down hook curl, by the way. So again, you can do this out of literally any play in the formation. Watch the shade down hook curl, just gets absolutely abused, and this is wide open. So what's the counter to this? What are you going to see? Well, what you'll see is a cover 2. But if you think about a cover 2 here to the left side, again, we talked a lot of ways to manipulate cover 2. But one of the other things that I wanted to showcase is this vertical hook is going to go to the flat, and you can actually throw this pivot route kind of right in the middle here, and I'll show that real quick. So you'll see, watch this vert hook on the left. He's going to pull out, and then you can either throw it to the flat or the zig, right? If it plays, it depends a little bit on like if they're shading, if they're dropping zones and stuff. But a lot of times what happens on these vert hooks is they'll actually play the flat a little bit more than they'll play the zig at first, and then they'll kind of come back and play the zig. So let's see if we can get that for you here. He's actually doing a pretty good job on the zig, and we would in that case just take the flat on the left side of the field, right? Now, if they're going to play cover 2, this is what's really interesting, guys. So if they're going to play cover 2 on the left, they're probably not going to play cover 2 on the right. Okay, so what we're able to do here is we're able to kind of anticipate what they're going to do. More than likely, they're going to be, and again, most people send 4, right? Most people send 4. So if we get this is one of my favorite shells or favorite ways to beat the blitz against this is because of this play right here. Because what nobody really was ready for is this running back streak, which if you think about it, who are they going to use her they're going to user this guy, but they're probably going to be over here, right? Most of these defenses kind of put them over here. So if they are over in this area, they might sit on the zig for a minute. They might go to the in route. They're not going to just immediately go to the running back route normally, especially the first time you run this. So you get this inside pass lead running back streak wide open in the seam area. And now what does that do to their defense? Well, what that does is now they have to basically anticipate that now. So they've got to sit over here in this right seam. The problem that creates is they're going to use the running back while we throw a 15-yard in route behind them. They're not going to switch stick this. See how this gets into a soft spot? Boom. So this is a very good play that horizontally strains a ton of their resources, which is why I love it, to kind of open up the offense. And then they go cover two, and we hit them with some of those bombs that we were talking about. Real quick, I did want to cover one other beater that's pretty decent against cover four, and we haven't even gotten too far into PA slot corner. But one of my favorite plays against cover four in this game is this PA slot corner. I like to block running back. I don't like to lead the play action. But you're just going to take the tight end. You're going to put him on an in route, and you can put him on an in route or a deep cross. You could go with a deep cross, which is fine, or you could put him on a 15-yard in route. Either one. Slant the inside trips receiver, streak this outside receiver, and then you've got a post out here. Now, this post needs to be at 15 yards. So you got to stem it up at least once, maybe twice. Okay? But this combo right here is a big hitter, a bomb concept for cover four. And you are going to be looking at your slant. You're going to look at your tight end. But then ultimately, you'll see that this post is going to run kind of into this soft area of the field. I think we need this post at 20 yards. So we'll stem it up twice. Obviously, you're going to need a little time for this bomb to develop downfield, which is why we're first reading this slant to in, and then late, we might hit this post. You see the quarter does get pretty good depth there, so not really going to be a great cover four bomb, but it is a really good cover three and cover two bomb. So I'll show it against cover three here, and then we'll talk about it against cover two. You'll see here, watch this middle third get pulled by the streak. He runs right there. All right, I guess they just patched every bomb in the game because for some reason that didn't work. I don't know why that didn't work. We'll show you another way you can bomb cover three here real quick. So we already talked a little bit about bombing cover three, but another thing you could do to bomb cover three is leave this corner here on the left, put the post out here at a 15-yard depth, and then streak like this. And then I would stem this corner down, and you have this corner route, which you're going to look to. They're probably going to switch stick to that, and then now you see this is a lot more open over here to the right-hand side. Cover four is really hard to bomb, and I honestly don't have a ton of great bombs for cover four right now. But if they do go cover four, obviously everything else is open. One of the other things that's really important to look at with this deep corner route is really just this combo right here is really good against hard flatted cover four. So you'll see, watch this little corner, kind of gets over in the soft spot of the defense, as you see. Okay, so those are some of my best like zone beaters, bombs, move up and down the field type plays. Now I want to spend just a little bit of time talking about man coverage and how this is going. So, all right, so let's go to PA shot wheel, and let's just look at this slot wheel route here. So what you'll see with the slot wheel route is this is a really good way to beat cover two man, and you'll see that right there. And then the other thing that this is a really good job of is, so we'll show you this one more time. So again, you could just do this wheel. You don't have to do anything else, like literally just the slot wheel. But you'll see this is fairly consistent against cover two man if you get a good throw. Milrow is just killing me. But if you get a good throw, this is pretty consistent against cover two man. So one of the best route combos against cover two man in this game is to utilize a wheel. I would leave this F post, honestly, have a little whip route right here, and then have either a cross to the tight end. I think ultimately probably just a tight end in route is probably the best here. You could also go with a corner and a Texas. So if you wanted to do this, these are all good ways to attack man coverage. So you see there, tight end beats to the corner, running back beats over the middle. So the biggest thing with cover 2 man is having enough man beating routes on the play so that if they drop a zone somewhere or that route just doesn't win for some reason, which does happen in this game, you have other options. So again, the wheel route here, you'll see, I mean, he's beating him pretty consistently if we just get a nice throw, and that just kills cover 2 man. Now, the reason that I like to use a play like this with a backside, it doesn't have to be an S post, like just a post in general. The post isn't always going to win against cover 2 man, but when it does win, it's just a touchdown. So you're going to see here, the safeties are going to split with the corner, the angle route, and then this post has a lot of space to be able to work. Not always going to win. As you saw right there, it didn't win. But it's worth having on the play because if it does win, which does lead me to another man-beating route that I really like, which a lot of people I don't see talking about. It's the deep cross route. We'll see if we can get this post to win here. But you're just trying to, you see kind of sneak it over the top of the man coverage defender. The other thing with this is we could also deep cross him with this hot route right here. This is a really underrated hot route because this deep cross is pretty consistent against man coverage, and I just don't see it. Of course, I say that and it gets bagged. I just don't see a lot of people use it. I think it's more consistent than like a basic post route is. I can definitely say that. We haven't shown the S post, which I'll actually show you the S post and see if we can get that to cook this man. Let's see here. Gets that late cut. And you see, I mean, that's like, see how he just bags? Like, that's just really, got to tip the cap at some point, But let's take a look here at PA shot wheel with this slot crosser. So another thing you could do out of this is, what's nice about this play is you have a stock wheel and a stock crosser. So one of those two routes should be able to win. Here, I don't know how, but he randomly got bagged. I think it's because I wasn't lined up right. But I mean, literally just calling this play. And then what you could do off of this is you could go streak with a backside slant. Motion slants are still good against man to this day. One of the age-old ways to beat man coverage. But look at that slot wheel just cook. So the other thing that we didn't cover is the whip route. So watch this zig. He's normally going to get open. There he kind of got bagged. Another route that I really like is the tight end deep cross. We'll see if we can hit this against cover 2 man. This is going to kind of depend on your tight end speed, which Alabama's tight end speed is But, these are some things you can do. Even something like this is kind of cool. A little slant. And there you see there that tight end wins. But I'm just telling you, slot wheels, running back wheels are cool. Let's just take a look at it against man. You'll see that they will get over the top of the man coverage if there's not safety help. So one of the things you could do is you could go streak wheel. This streak will push back this deep half. Running back kind of gets into this area of the field, which it's okay. I really like the running back Texas pattern. I think that's more consistent. As you see when he cuts across the middle, he just wins. So those are some of my man-beating routes. If I go verticals here, if I take the running back and put him on a Texas, which is one of our setups we talked about even against zone, you see that streak is going to get over the man coverage. It's a tight throw, but it's something to at least look at if you have a good slot receiver. This streak on the left side can get over the top of the cover 2 man. Obviously, you see the angle route's wide open. We could take a shot, though, on our shade down man because you see he's just going to get into that spot. So these are some of the ways that I like to run this offense. Again, even just like a little something like this is totally cool, right? Why is this a good play? Well, it's a good play because we're going to be able to really put a lot of routes on the field that can beat man coverage, assuming Milrow can make a throw. And this is going to make, the deep half is going to have to respect this on this seam streak and then this slot wheel. You could even leave the S post on this, honestly, but now you have a lot more space for your running back to cook over the middle. So those are some of my favorite ways to beat man coverage out of this formation. We didn't even get to this play drive post, but this is just a really good post route. So what I like to do would be a combination of, something really like this. I think this is a fairly cool setup, and you're going to get this really nice against man coverage because this it's a sharp cutting post, and sharp cutting posts will do a really good job of attacking man. And then you can run back with the Texas, and then you can have, I mean, even just this right here. This is a perfectly fine route combo. In my opinion, it spaces the field really well. There's enough options to kind of avoid the user. So those are some of my favorite plays in this game. And this is the Alabama Trips. Thanks for watching the video. To check out our full ebooks for college football or for Madden, they're in the school community. Link is going to be in the description below.